Creator's block is a common obstacle that many artists face. It's a barrier that prevents you from creating new work or finishing what you've started. Most commonly, having perfectionist tendencies work against us, preventing us from getting started because we are worried that what we want to create might not be good enough. There are, however, many other causes of creator's block. From something as trivial as a lack of sleep to feeling that we are not good enough to come up with innovative ideas. Therefore, it's important to identify what's stopping you from being creative. So, before I lay out some practical tips to get through creator's block, I'd like to encourage you to take a moment to check in with yourself and your current circumstances. We are at our most creative when our bodies are nourished and healthy. If you feel stuck and uninspired, ask yourself, have I gotten enough sleep? Have I eaten enough? It may be an excellent time to go take a break and re-energize. Go for a walk, eat some food, or take a nap. Most of the world's greatest artists and inventors saw the importance of taking breaks and creating time for leisure in their lives. They recognized that they needed time away from their projects to get fresh ideas and inspiration. This gestation period allowed them to create the masterpieces for which they are known today. But what do we do when we've had time to rest and recuperate and still find ourselves staring at a blank canvas or blinking cursor on a screen? It's time to get some work done, you tell yourself. This is where I introduce the warm-up phase. Athletes don't just start playing their sports at full steam without warming up first. Warming up helps loosen the muscles and prepare for high-intensity activity. The same is true for writers and other artists when they sit down to start work on a project. If you've ever been to a life drawing class, you will know the instructor will get your hand and eyes warmed up by starting with some 1 to 2 minute poses before engaging with longer 15 to 30 minute poses. In the same way, we can warm up before starting an artwork or writing project. This means doing some simple preliminary tasks that will help get the creative juices flowing. Taking out a sketchbook and doing some initial sketches can allow ideas to flow, meaning you can explore different concepts on paper without the pressure to produce something extraordinary. Don't self-edit or judge these drawings. Get them out on paper so you can figure out what you want to work on next. Likewise with writing. Brain dump any thoughts you have in your text editor or note app so you can get in the right state to start generating ideas. As your list of random thoughts gets longer, you will start to see patterns and themes begin to emerge, and you can refine these ideas and start to shape them into something more coherent. Every writer knows the first draft is usually a mess, but it's essential to push through and get the ideas out on the page so you can start revising and editing them later. Often, getting in a state of creative flow is about just getting started. Once you're over the initial hump of putting something down on paper, ideas will flow more fluidly, and it will be easy for you to keep going. Everything you create is an opportunity to learn and improve your craft. Even if you scrap the thing you just worked on, it's most often not a waste of time and was the very thing you needed to do to get you where you needed to go and produce the items you want to make. It's often easy to see what you wanted to create in hindsight, but if you didn't make anything to begin with, you wouldn't have gotten there. The creative process is messy and full of mistakes, but it can also be gratifying if you persist and keep at it until you get it right. When you're working on a project, you can often get stuck thinking that you need to get it right the first time, but that's not how creativity works. A lot of the time, the process of creating something can be broken down into a series of smaller tasks that need to be completed before you can move on to the significant task of building the final product. I've heard it said that if you don't make mistakes, you don't make anything. Thomas Edison is said to have tried 1,000 combinations before he invented the light bulb. So the most important thing is to keep going and keep experimenting until you get the results you're looking for. Making a little progress every day is often all it takes to get you to where you eventually want to be. Don't give up and keep working on your creative projects until you're satisfied with the results. Sometimes you have to say that the work is good enough and move on to the next project, taking the lessons you learned along the way. Creativity is often likened to a muscle that needs to be trained. The more you work at it, the stronger it becomes, and the more ideas you'll be able to come up with when you start your next project. Make what you can today, so that you can make something better tomorrow. Start small and build upon your successes each day, and you'll soon find yourself producing things that you never thought possible. Let me know some of the ways you overcome creator's block in the comments below. Like and subscribe for more content like this. Until next week, have a good week. Goodbye.